Man, welcome back. Or, yeah, kinda. There's a little hibernation, a little MIA for a second. But, man, welcome back to the Kingdom and Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Jawan. If you don't already know me, it's nice to meet you. I'm not your cousin, your brother, your friend, whatever you want to call me. But we're here. It's been a minute. And I know I've been saying on social media that I was going to get back to it. And, man, life be life and life be moving fast. And there's so many things that I will be updating you guys on very, very soon. But I want to jump right into this, man. I'm not here to talk about life or anything like that. I'm here to talk about God. Y'all know what it is. We are here, Kingdom and Culture Podcast. And what we strive to do is we take topics that are universal, that we pretty much all of us know about, and we explore the difference of the perspective from a cultural definition to a biblical definition, and we aim to bridge that gap so that when you think of a thing, you think of it from a biblical or Christ-like perspective and concept, Just out here trying to help. And mind you, you're not alone, because I'm learning too, so we growing together. That's why I said I'm your cousin, your friend, your whatever you want to call it. I'm not a host. I'm not anything like that. I'm literally your friend. So let's get right into this. It's February, shortest month, love month. Y'all know what it is. Go ahead, put me on the cliche list like everybody else. I'm talking about love. Yes, LOVE. Okay, you could have guessed it, whatever. But we are going to be talking about agape love. Agape love, agape love, agape love. Agape comes from a Greek word found in the Bible, and it is talking about the fatherly love that we are privileged and graced enough to experience through God, our Father. So it is fatherly love, but if I could underline it and really just put a pin in it with one word, I would use unconditional. Unconditional can be a universal definition or meaning for the word agape, to really describe exactly what this agape love is. And so I want to also remind you that if you want to learn more about this type of love, I suggest that you'd probably go to like 1 Corinthians chapter 13, read that whole chapter, read the whole book, man. I'm a big believer. Don't just read a verse, but you got to read it in context, read a chapter. And if you want even better context and background, read the book. You got to get all that knowledge, man, get all that wisdom, because you don't want to use anything out of context. You don't want to use anything with a misinterpretation or anything like that. So read before, read after, and everything in between so that you can get the best understanding possible. But we're talking about agape love. And I would underline it with the word unconditional. Unconditional, what does that mean? I'm going to put it in simple terms. You don't have conditions. You don't have conditions. You can't have conditions, or else it ain't unconditional. Okay. So while we're talking about agape love, we're going to be breaking down the meaning of it, what it looks like in your life, how it can show up in your life, how you can actually get better at applying it in your life and in your relationships. All right. So let's dive in. So it is a Greek word. The one word I'd use to underline it, like I said, is unconditional. And it is considered the highest form of love in Christianity. I also believe in life. The highest form of love. The highest form of love. Like that's a big statement to say that this is the highest, the most purest form of love to experience. And you're going to experience it first from your Father. But then once you see just how beautiful it is with your relationship with your Father, you'll then be able to carry it out and show it to others, which is the ultimate thing that we should do anyways. What we learn from Christ is to literally allow it to mirror inside of our hearts so that we can show it on the outside to others and all those that we encounter. So that's the definition that I'm going to go with today, and that's the definition that we're going to stick with. When you think of agape love, I want to put it like this. There are three words that can surround agape love. The first word is going to be sacrifice. The second word is going to be selfless. And then the third word, we're back at it, unconditional. So I want you to say these three things with me, these three declarations, these three statements, but you got to mean it. You really got to mean it, because this is the basis for what agape love is. And without these three things present, it is not. In fact, it is not agape love. So say this: I can't be selfish. I will have to sacrifice. And I can't have conditions. I won't be selfish. I, in fact, will have to sacrifice, and go ahead and throw compromise in there too. And I can't have conditions. I can't have conditions to my love for you or how I love. Can't have conditions. And those three things are foundational principles when you think about agape love, because God loves us through everything and in spite of so much. In spite of so much, if you think about it, sometimes we get into this space where after you do something for so long, it becomes autopilot mode or robotic mode, where it's like you're doing it and you're not even thinking about it. You don't even have to put in a conscious effort to do it, because it's literally, it comes to you like it's second nature now. It's like a motor skill. But the problem is when you get into autopilot mode, is sometimes you forget the fact that in order to grow, you got to put in some manual work. And that manual work comes into play when you're trying to grow. And if you want to be an evolving person who is constantly growing and not just becoming a better person, but becoming a better friend, becoming a better child, becoming a better sibling, a better spouse, a better whatever, you have to grow. You have to put in some manual work, some manual time and labor. And a lot of that is spending time with God. Because if God is the blueprint, then it would make sense that you got to spend the majority of your time with Him in order to actually learn, to even be able to apply anything, so that when you go out here and meet other people, that you'll be able to give off. So it comes down to what you want to learn. You got to put the time in for it. And in order to learn more about love, you have to spend time really understanding and exploring the nature of God and His love for you. And I don't want you to just think of it like this is work or this is educational, but no, through this experience, something's going to happen to your heart. There's going to be a transfer from your heart. There's going to be peace brought into your heart. There's going to be joy brought into your heart. I didn't say a new house or a new car or a new relationship, but this is strictly coming from God, because He's just that good. And this is what we should all strive to do. We should all strive to spend a great amount of time with God, really seeking His face, not His hand, but His face, and really learning His nature, His character. Because once we begin to learn more about Him, and when we allow those things to actually sit in our heart and we actually take note of it and we actually put it into practice and apply it, that's how we become more Christ-like. And I'm not saying it's easy by no means. Look, I struggle, you struggle, we gonna struggle together. But the bottom line is that you have to put in that manual work. You have to put in that manual work, and you have to resist maybe some of the things that you've learned in the past. Because not everything that is learned is healthy. Not everything that is learned should be continued. Not everything that is learned should be passed down. I'm on something here now. But you get the gist of it. Not everything that you learned in the past should be something that you continue to practice. Some things you got to leave right where they're at. Some people you got to leave right where they're at. But in order to do this, it's a constant effort to get into your word, spend time with God, be around people who are going to push you right back to God, push you back into the word, and to help you grow in your wisdom of God's love, God's nature, and just his being. Um, Agape love is a, how can I say this? It's not, it's not the feeling, it's the doing, right? We know how sometimes people say that love is not a feeling, it's an action. And to take it a step even further, it's a choice. It's a conscious choice that we have to make every day to love, to not choose evil, but to love, to not choose revenge, but to love, right? So, when you're making that choice, understand that you are mirroring Christ. And if that's the goal, then you're doing right. And you should strive to continue to do that more and more. But moreover, and I want to shout out Pastor J Patrick. Thank you for this, because on Sunday he reminded us that it it's not maturity is not about an age type of thing. It's about growth, and about your growth in Christ and your relationship with Christ. And if you're not growing, it's not going to show. And contrary to that, if you're not growing, it's gonna show that you're not growing. So the goal is not to think of it as a number thing, but to think of it as a step kind of process. Because the ultimate goal is that what we learn from Christ and what we learn through Christ, that we pass it on to the next person, and that we show it and demonstrate it to the next person. And that's why I always say again, this podcast is not just for new believers, because I truly believe that we all need reminders. We all need help. We all need a push along the way. We all need to be challenged with our thoughts and our perspective at times. We all need those things to grow, because that type of challenge, that type of, you know, level of effort to really seek growth is how you're able to become a teacher amongst others. And sometimes you're not teaching somebody who just got into the faith yesterday. Sometimes you are teaching somebody who now has to unlearn a thing and now learn a new perspective of something. And so we're all capable of this. And I really encourage everybody to learn more about agape love and what this really looks like and how you can apply it to your life. Because the one thing that I can always say, and that even I think just in general, is that when you share with someone, you're literally saying that I care about your growth enough that I want to impart something. I want to I want to play a role. I want to give you something. I want to be a giver. I want to help you get to that next level. So yeah, sharing is very much so caring, because what people don't know is what people don't know. And it's not just on the people who are sharing to, help everybody gain knowledge and wisdom. Of course, you still got to do some work for yourself, but we're called to help people. We're called to hold hands and to walk through things with people. We're called to see people. We're called to value people and ultimately care for people how Christ cares for us. Um, so if you get nothing out of this, take away from it that somebody is waiting for your growth so that you can share with them. Yeah, somebody is waiting for your growth so that you can share with them. Because when you learn, then you can apply. And once you apply consistently, now you can teach. I hope everybody felt like this was something, even if it was something that you felt like you already knew, but that it was still a good reminder. Um, this is this is I can already tell this is going to be a jam-packed year, and I mean that in so many ways. So take that how you want. Everybody, it's going to look a little different for everybody, but everything we do should and is supposed to derive from love every action we take should be from love. Every word we say should be from love. Um, and if love is the foundation in which we're supposed to be walking and leading and doing with, we have to take it amongst ourselves to learn more about it. Because if not, you could very well be out here putting out some unhealthy love, showing unhealthy love to people. And you don't want to do that because you can really scar people like that. We have to be delicate with others, and Lord knows we got to be delicate with ourselves. So why not take the time to learn more about love so that we can make sure that we're all posturing ourselves in a healthy way, to not only show others love, but to also know what we should be receiving, what we should be allowing ourselves to receive, and ultimately not settle for. So that was my relationship tag right there. That's how I connected it with relationships. But I love y'all, man. Like I said, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And just show some encouragement to each other. Show some encouragement, show some love. Pick up the phone, man, and check on people. Really check on people. Set some time aside. I know we all busy, but set some time aside to really check in on people and see how people are doing, and be attentive enough and with a high level of discernment to be able to not just accept the I'm okay, no, I'm good, but to really see through people, and let them know that you are here, you see them, you hear them, and ultimately that you care and love about them, because everybody needs it. This world needs it. And there's not one person that can tell me that they don't need or want healthy love. In fact, the Bible reminds us that faith, hope, and love are amongst the three things that will last. Others will cease. Other things will stop. Other things will be gone. These things we have are temporary. But what will remain, what will continue, what's not going to go out of style, what's not going to be a trend, is love, faith, and hope. I hope this blessed you.